joining us on the launch of Communicators Without Borders and also the opening up of our workshop for the day. We have some exciting events that have been planned out for the day for us. I want to go ahead and begin with the launch of Communicators Without Borders and introduce our partner organizations and give them a chance to talk a little bit.
I'm currently a regional director for the organization Team Rubicon, which you just saw behind me. I'm also a team leader for the internal roster team, which deploys internationally. So recently I've been working in South Sudan in a refugee camp for most of the summer, and I've actually just come back from Hurricane Sandy, which affected the east coast of the United States greatly. This is an organization which found me early in its evolution. We're only 3 years old. We've deployed to 37 different missions, both domestically and internationally. We've been in Haiti, Burma, Mozambique, South Sudan, most of the conflict zones you read about as well. That's kind of our niche. Our mission statement is to get in early, provide critical infrastructure, support organizationally, as well as with emergency medicine and management. It's a really interesting time in the growth of the organization. We're only 3 years old, but we've taken a lot of proven technologies, and a lot of us have extensive experience, sadly in war, but it teaches you a lot. We're taking that experience and we're taking these hands that were trained for war and we're retooling them to deliver aid, both domestically and internationally. And we're taking the technology that's come out of the past decade of conflict and we're doing the exact same thing.
The Brian Lamb School of Communication is a fairly new entity. We've been the Department of Communication since 1949, but we've just transitioned and we're transforming ourselves, I suppose, into a named School of Communication. We've been, I think, very engaged over the last decade in trying to internationalize our program, and in part that's resulted in what we think of as a strategy for engaging a very few universities around the world in high-quality partnerships. Engaging students, moving faculty back and forth, looking at ways that we can cooperate from a curriculum point of view. And we have 4 partners, and I think hopefully we'll have a 5th at the end of a few days here in the U.S. We hope that Team Rubicon, in fact I think there'll be some conversations, will be one of several NGOs that might be part of this effort, cooperate in various ways. And we hope to see some extremely well-qualified students who might have opportunities to go this route, to do some things that might change the world through organizations that are doing important things. But the goal of this entity, of this notion, is to engage motivated students in meaningful ways in important, immersive, real-world humanitarian action projects, to improve the organizational, collaborative, and strategic management leadership skills of students in significant out-of-class experiences, and really in some ways to help train and shape what we think is the next generation of communication professionals by engaging university students initially in U.S. and Purdue, but there may be others. In fact, when we've sort of talked to others in places, they get really excited about this concept. And so we don't know. In collaborative strategic communication management PR projects with various NGOs, and bring these students into situations where they in fact have an opportunity to really grow and to be challenged and to make a difference. And it's in these kind of experiences when you talk to alumni and when we talk to people like Brian Lamb about what it was that changed his life, is he talks about these experiences that he had. So I think really in a lot of ways Singapore is the perfect place to have this conversation. When you think about global interconnectedness, when you think about people coming in, when you fly into this place and you see the port, and you see the transportation, the links for this part of the world, and how important Singapore is, then I think that really no one can deny, I think, that this is the kind of place and the kind of atmosphere that you want to have this kind of discussion, where there will be opportunities for in-U.S. students, for example, to spend an internship experience maybe with an organization like this in either the main office facility, or if they have the right skill set and things work out right, maybe even in the field, to get a real sense of what this is like. Because these are the kind of experiences, as we know, that shape our lives.
Communicating with impact. If there is one theme that I think connects these organizations together, that is the vision for understanding the role of communication and how it has an impact on society. I believe that's a message that came out loud and clear, Howard, in your discussion of Purdue, the land grant mission, and how you think about communication as sort of a bold next step imagination for how it can impact society, have an impact on our communities. And I believe that that's a strong thread that flows through what we do here at CNM in looking at the intersections of communication theory and practice. How do those connect together? But more importantly, how do those work in imagining, creating, critiquing, and forming a social, political, economic, cultural order that is just, that is fair, that is equitable, and that creates spaces for people and communities to communicate. For our students to engage with communities, to have immersive experiences for learning what it is to run strategic communication and strategic management campaigns. But even more importantly, to come to understand their own role as citizens, as participants, as people that are connected to the societies that they seek toward creating. I will invite you to help us put together the puzzle piece that we created sort of as a symbol of the launch officially.